Thank you so much, Chastity, for joining me for my graduate spotlight. I'm so excited that you're here. It's been about 2 years since our last interview, and I'm so excited to get caught up to hear what you've been doing for the past 2 years. And at the end, we're going to talk about where you're going and what your next plans are. So I have just a handful of questions for you. Um, One of the most often shared reasons why people take my continuing education and professional development is to improve their confidence and their competence.
Mhm.
You tell us why you chose to take my course and how it helped you improve your confidence and your competence.
Well, Lori, I want to say hello and thank you so much for having me. It has been about 2 years now, if not a little bit. It was actually, I think, October of 2021 when I first took the course. So, yes, it is a little bit over 2 years. So, I'm super excited about that. And to answer your question about the competence and the confidence that taking the course has built with me, the confidence level is really good. There are not very many concerns or issues that I come across that I don't feel competent in being
Okay.
able to take care of, or to refer to a podiatrist. Um, you just learn what to do as because the more you do it, the better you get at it. So the
Right.
course, because it was real life situations and not just printed paper and pictures,
Right.
it gave you real examples of how to handle a vast array of situations that you're going to come across as a professional pedicurist.
And is that the reason why you took the course, is to improve your confidence and competence, or did you have another reason to take it?
I had a lot of reasons to take it, Lori. Number one, because I admire the work that you've done. That was number
Thank
one.
you.
But I also knew that there was a gift in being able to take care of those rare situations that people typically don't really like. There are lots of nail technicians that only do fingernails and they don't
Right.
do pedicures. And I always tell people, if you have to make the choice, choose your feet, because
Yeah.
we can do things to kind of make the hands pretty and hide some things, but feet are what we carry all of our weight and burden on every single day. And they get overlooked and they are neglected.
Yeah.
And I have had clients who've had amputations of digits,
Oh my
all of those different types of things. So feet are not anything to ignore.
no.
But I took the course because I admire the work that you do. I wanted to be able to be a part of this network so that people who need this specialized service would be able to have someone in their area to be able to reach out to. So, being a part of this network is super, super important to me because it gives people a safe space to be able to have those issues that are very intense. And oftentimes, the podiatrist doesn't take care of because they are not insurance payable.
Right. Billable.
Yeah, they're not billable. So, for me to be able to take care of those clients is a wonderful feeling. It helps me serve my purpose and it helps them be able to get the care that they need.
That's fantastic. And people don't realize that if you took the population and put it in a pie, the largest percentage of the pie chart are people who need more help. So, nail technicians in the industry, when they're focusing on trying to build a clientele, it's a very small slice of the pie if they don't want to do feet or don't want to do feet that might have any number of issues. Because I teach from the most simple issue to resolve to the most complicated issue to resolve in the
Yeah.
course. But that larger percentage of the population is who needs help the most. So
That is very true, and I'm very grateful, like I said, for the Global Meticulous Manicurist course because it gives me that added advantage to be skilled in that area. Sometimes you have to do the bigger thing, and the bigger thing is not always easy. The
right.
bigger thing is not what everyone wants to do. I think it takes a lot of um, passion and compassion to be able to know or to gain the skill and know what to do. Some of it, I think, is just in you, because some people are still, even if they took the course, if it's not naturally in them, it's going to be difficult for them to just have the confidence to do it. But for me, I knew that I was going to be handling more difficult situations when I first started nail school.
Right.
And ironically, that's who the Lord sent to me when I was starting to pedicure, like in my home. When I first started out, he sent me people that I knew were going to need additional care. So I had to start partnering with podiatrists, and that even that role has grown beautifully. And they trust me because
Yes.
I have been trained in an advanced way to be able to take care of these issues that other people may not want to touch.
Right.
And then they also, I have been able to build a beautiful library of before and after pictures that are my clients and my real life situation.
Right. It's real.
So
you're not copying them from
that's
some
it.
website saying, oh, look what I can do. It's like, no, this is real.
That's right. They're not anybody else's pictures. I can dial those clients' numbers and they can verify
Right.
whose feet those are if they had to.
That's
But
right.
I'm very grateful to have a wonderful library of before and after, so that, they say the proof is in the pudding. So I've got lots of pudding.
That's
And
good.
I don't have to prove to people very often what the results can be if we allow the time, the consistency, and the patience that it's going to take in order to heal.
Right.
Yes.
So, as a nail technician, one of the most important things that we want to do every single day is to make our clients happy. So, can you tell me what has been your feedback from your clientele after taking the Meticulous Manicurist course and being able to satisfy their needs? What's their feedback?
Yes, absolutely, Lori. The feedback that my clients give me consistently is that they've never had a completely they've never had as thorough of a pedicure as I have been able to provide them. They see you cleaning out the sidewalls, they see you handling them with care, with confidence, and that it is meticulous, that everything's taken care of.
Right.
And it's that consistent response of, I've never had a pedicure like this before. And that makes me, that satisfies the deepest part of me for being able to do this work, is that they are happy with the end result.
Right. And that helps your client retention rate in a huge way.
Absolutely. It definitely helps the client retention rate, and it also increases referrals, because they definitely refer their family and friends to be able to experience this as well. And a lot of people will buy a gift certificate because they say, hey, I know that this is going to be different for them, so I want them to be able to experience you. And then once they do, they can take up the tab for it. But the very first visit oftentimes is a friend or a loved one who's gifting the service to them. So that's also a wonderful thing.
That's fantastic. Yes, a lot of older generations, their children, when they start having to do more caregiving for them, they'll bring them in and say they need more help. And then they also pick up a few tidbits of how can I help my parents at home too. So absolutely, it's wonderful that they seek out help for their parents too.
That's right. And I always try to give my clients tips on how they can best manage their feet in between the pedicure. Yeah. I always liken pedicuring to dentistry. I'd say it's a deep cleaning for the feet. That you wash them every day, but there are just certain things you can't do because you're positioned differently than I am when I'm pedicuring your feet. Same as with the dentist, that we can, they're scraping and pulling stuff off, and you're saying, but I brush every day.
Right.
You can wash your feet every day, but that pedicuring is the intense cleaning that a professional is going to do. And yes, I do have a wonderful demographic of clients who entrust their elderly parents to me, that because they have aged and they don't have the dexterity anymore to take care of their feet. And they just need that added care to keep them active. I've had clients tell me, even recently, one of my clients from the very beginning of when I started bringing her father probably about 4 months ago. And she said, Chastity, I just want to tell you thank you, because he has started walking again. Not that he had lost the ability to walk, but he would walk for distance, like 2 or 3 miles just for exercise. But because his feet were so painful with his toenails being so long and, scratching inside of the front of the shoe and everything, and they couldn't cut his nails. So once they brought him to me, she said, Chastity, he has started walking again. So that's something he and I share at his appointments with, like how much he's walking. He's probably walking more than I do. And I need, they encourage me as well, but we're working all the time, Lori.
Right.
So it does my heart good to know that this is a service that is necessary and that I'm able to share it with my clients.
That's fantastic. So after taking professional development, our goal is to grow our business. So can you tell me how the certification has impacted your business in terms of client retention and revenue growth?
So revenue growth is definitely impacted, and so is the retention. I know that I've retained them when I give a pedicure and they say, well, how often do I need to come back?
That's right.
So we know right away that they enjoy
Not trying to scoot out the door like, okay, bye.
Thanks. That's right. And it's very rare that that's very rare that I experience that, because the clients are just almost overwhelmed sometimes. And then they get a little bit salty about the previous pedicures they've had, because they're like, well, why doesn't everybody do this? And I said, well, this isn't everybody's position. This isn't everybody's desire. People want to rush and make as much revenue. Revenue is great, but revenue should be the byproduct of you doing an exceptional job every single time consistently. So with retention, I don't have very many clients that have not returned. I have had some clients who've traveled a great distance, maybe 4 or 5 hours. They're not going to come as frequently, but even for them to trust me with them traveling that length of time, to trust me with their care, and they have been back multiple times, but it may be every 6 months, or it may be, every 3 or 4 months, that type of thing. It's not my regular 4 to 6 weeks client. And revenue is definitely increasing, because when you do what, for me, I call mine the restorative pedicuring. So when I do that is a very intense service. It takes care of all of just very hard debridement of the nail sometimes. So you charge more for those premium services. Yeah. So that allows you, of course, to increase in the revenue. So being able to retain those clients and to be able to, don't be afraid to charge that premium, because you are worth it. You are using all of your skills that you've paid for and invested in, and you're also using your body. And you have to, even for me, I have to make sure that I'm getting a massage regularly, to work out some of the kinks in these shoulders, and to have your back
chiropractor.
That's it. I was just about to say, to be able to have some of the manipulation to take some of the pressure out of the spine. I said, for Christmas, I think I want one of those teeter hang-ups. I pray that it works, but it just stretches out that spine so that it releases some of that pressure. But we have to know that we're worth charging that premium, number one, because we are changing lives. We are making an impact in these clients' mobility and their ability to ambulate and to regain some of their dexterity sometimes, and it just makes a big difference. So you definitely need to charge the premium, because it is a premium service. And it's not about taking anything from anyone, but you are giving so much. And if we pay for the things that we count as important, I heard a gentleman say one time that if you don't even really trust things that cost too little, because you just kind of feel like, maybe it's just average. But when things have a higher ticket price on them, you say, hey, what is this about? Maybe I do need to experience this. So we kind of have to change our thought process and gain that confidence, even as manicurists and pedicurists and just the beauty industry, period, that we are not only beneficial, we are necessary. So we need to charge those prices that are fair to the market and fair to the work that you have and the training that you've invested in yourself.
So how has the network map helped you grow your business? Are you still getting a steady intake of clients on a regular basis?
Absolutely. The network map is wonderful. I know when clients call me and they tell me that they have found me on the internet, I automatically know it's with the Meticulous
Right.
Manicurist, because they'll tell me that they're watching your show and they get curious. And when you say, hey, you can find someone on your map to be able to do this same type of service. So when they get to looking and find me, and then we have a great conversation and I find out what their need is and share with them how I can be of assistance and how to help them, that has really, really helped me to work with the clients and to
Mhm.
gain people outside of my immediate area. Like I said, where people have driven 6 hours to be able
Right.
to come to see me. And for someone to come and get an hour and a half pedicure and then go back and drive another 6 hours to get back
Yeah,
home,
to go home.
that's humbling because they don't have to do it. They could have
Right.
chosen anyone within the hundreds and hundreds of miles to just go get a pedicure,
Right.
but they saw
They don't
that I
trust
was
people.
they don't trust people, and they've experienced trauma in the past
Right.
as well with pedicures, that they have gotten infections, they have
Right.
been treated roughly, whatever the situation is. Being a part of the Global Meticulous Manicurist network has,
Gives them a sense of safety and security.
yes, it's an automatic trust because they are watching you, Lori, and they're saying, hey, if she's training people, I'm probably going to find somebody very similar to that. And that's what the experience has been.
Fantastic. So that leads
Yeah.
me to my next question. Um,
Mm-hmm.
how has the training helped you in your professional networking?
So professionally, the networking has been wonderful. Right now, I have 4 podiatrists that I partner with, and I'm very, very grateful for that because many people tell me they don't have any at all.
Right.
Um, yeah, so I have 4 podiatrists that I partner with now, and they refer their clients to me as well, or their patients to me. They would be my clients,
Right.
but they refer their patients to me. And just being able to work with professionals and be able to, when I know that a client needs to be referred, that I'm not just saying you have an issue, I'm able to help you with and direct you with who to go to in order to get that resolved.
Right.
Even give them suggestions on what has worked in the past with prescriptions for my previous clients so that they can mention that to their podiatrist or to their doctor. So just being able to build those professional relationships and have physicians trust your care, all that means so much, Lori, because it's not an everyday thing. And most people have never
Exactly.
heard of that, for what they think is just a nail technician to be able to
Exactly.
partner with these doctors that have my cards in their office. And when those patients finish their consultation or their visit with the doctor, they're giving them my card and they call me and tell me who referred them. So I'm very, very fortunate. It builds a lot of trust. That puts the ball in my court to always work and handle them with integrity, with fairness, with compassion, with all the things that to me should exemplify an exceptional service. I'm
Exactly.
huge and have always been huge on great customer service. So even having these professional relationships with the podiatrist add to that as well.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
So it's helped your career progression. So because before you were just working on clients who are coming into your business, but now you're actually networking
Yeah.
outside of and having people trust and refer you people. So it's helped you in your professional network as well.
Yes.
Um, and so we've talked about this before, but I want to share it with everybody else that with your personal growth, um, I want you to share your personal growth experiences and insights that you've gained and how it's helped you. Because I know that coming up pretty soon, you're going to have a whole other spotlight. So tell us about
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely, Lori. So even on and I'll still count this as like the professional piece, but it's also very personal for me because it just helps me continue to grow in all the areas that I can. But I've had my second newscast shooting. So, well, not say shooting, maybe filming. I'll say
Filming.
that
Yeah.
that I've had a recent filming, and one of my podiatrists actually joined me for that session as well. And last week I had a wonderful podcast interview with it's called Dialogue with Deidre. So even since um, last week that things continue to come in where people are asking or inquiring about this information and why these pedicures that I provide are different. So the airing for the newscast, I'm not quite sure when that's going to air. Hopefully it's sometime soon within the next week or two. But the dialogue with Deidre, once that post, I definitely will share that as well because it was a wonderful interview and very thought provoking for me and kind of a little bit emotional because one of the questions she asked me, she said, "Did the little girl Chastity ever know that she was going to be an entrepreneur?" And I told her,
Aw.
never. I know it just, I've never, I've thought about it, but when people ask you things,
Mm-hmm.
it resonates a little bit differently. And I've never really thought about, I do think about the little girl in me a lot of times, but not the way that she phrased it. But I never thought that this would be what I would be doing because all of my family has just always worked and you just kind of follow the rules. I
Right.
went to college
Or
because
how
that was the
much you
next.
have accomplished in such a short period of time.
Yes, yes. And it has, relatively speaking, when I hear people say, "Oh, I've been in the industry for 15 years or 20 years,"
Right.
but some of the things that I truly know that God has blessed me to be able to do and the relationships that He allows me to build through my clients, you learn so much
You
through the
know, you get
people
to know
that you
so many
meet.
people. Yes.
Yes, oh my gosh, I get overjoyed to think about all of the wonderful people that I have met and the information that they
Yes.
have shared with me that has continued to help me grow. But I am just very grateful for being able to be an asset to people and to use this gift that God gave me because I never would have pictured or thought that I would be here after college and all those traditional things that we do. But I am so grateful every single day to
Yay.
be a vessel of hope and love and
Yes.
restoration and to give people second chances in places where they think I'm a, things are like metaphors for me a lot of times because it's
Right.
not just the feet that I see, but I also see that as part of like their life that I
Yeah.
want them to trust me with this process so that when you see this heal, hopefully that gives hope to other areas of your
Oh,
life that can be
absolutely.
restored.
Because
So it's a
people hide
ministry.
things, they're ashamed. It gives them all kinds of emotional feelings of guilt and
Yes.
they stay in more. So helping people, it
Yes.
gives them back their freedom. They start to
It
find
does.
parts of themselves again. So
Yes.
it gives them back their hope and love,
Yes.
enjoyment of life and everything else.
Absolutely.
So
So it definitely is a work of love
mhm.
because you're able to help them, like you said, see other facets of their area. Like if I can heal in my feet, I can heal in other areas of my life too. I tell
Yeah,
people that I work on the SOLE and also the SOUL.
that's
So
right.
yeah, it's a beautiful combination and
That's
they're not very different from one another because we hide a lot of things in our lives. And we also know as professional pedicurists that people definitely hide their feet. And it just needs to be a safe space and someone to be able to trust to be able to help them in that journey.
That's right. Thank goodness for all of the people in my network. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so proud of
Yeah.
you. You've accomplished so much. And I know
Thank
you've
you,
also
Lord.
taken other continuing education classes because you do need a variety of education. There's, different aspects. Not everybody, there's nothing out there available of the things that I teach. I've heard from, over 1,000 different nail technicians who have taken my
Yes.
course. So can you tell everybody a little bit about how the Meticulous Manicurist course is different from the education that you've taken, and did it exceed your expectations or meet your expectations when you were first thinking about taking it?
Absolutely, Lori. I have taken other continuing education courses to be better, to be my best, to gain the knowledge, to help in reputation when people look at your credentialing and your certifications and all of
Yes.
those different things. Nothing has been this detailed with real life situations, with you showing up close and personal what those nails look like, introducing what the concern is, and showing you how to go about resolving it from beginning to end, covering the aspects of finances, being accountable with all aspects of your business, because it's not just about you sitting down and pedicuring someone. It's about every aspect of the business. And in this moment, I am the janitor. I am the bookkeeper. I'm also the pedicurist. I am the decorator. I am to fix the little things around that need to be done. So you're every woman right now. And that's okay, because that's going to prayerfully change at some time when you can have help. But you definitely have covered a huge array of every aspect of the business. But I don't want to say most importantly, because all aspects of it are important, but to be able to have those real life situations, that makes all the difference. Of course, when I was in manicuring school, it's just paper and picture. And those really are not that gritty and truthful, in my opinion. They don't show hardly any of what I have come in contact with. Like, almost like you would think it's too gross for the book,
Right.
So it's a very mild representation when you are in nail school and see some of those things. But what you see in real life it can be mind blowing. It can be a lot of things, and that is not what's in the book, but it is what is in the Meticulous Manicurist Global Course.
Yes. So, people don't realize the whole baby boomer generation, which is the largest group of population right now, they are entering that elderly phase of life. So that group of people, we need more people to help take care of them. This isn't just about, I always tell my students that you don't even have to worry about the money. Like, when I work, I don't think about my income, because when you do the right thing, everything just falls into place. When you lead with trying to resolve an issue for somebody, I have a problem, I'm going to give you the solution. It just falls into place. They're like, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. This person helped me. This is the first person that was willing to help me in a long time. And it just snowballs from there. And you get so busy that you're like, holy cow, how did this happen?
Yes.
So
it has made my heart glad the many times that new clients have come and said, I've never had someone give me this much information. And they say, Chastity, you do this, but I also see you as a teacher. Like, you're naturally a teacher, someone to show what you're doing, what you're going through, why it is this way, and what we can do to resolve it. And so for me, I've always, with a counseling background, I've always been able to talk people through things. It's almost like you wouldn't want a doctor that's about to give you a shot and they just stick you. You want them to ease you into it and say, hey, let me get your arm cleaned off. And this is what we're about to do. And you're going to feel a little prick. You don't want someone just doing things to you and you don't know what they're about to do. For me, I walk my clients through every single step. And that way they gain the information, the why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I just naturally just kind of coach them through that. And once they've come the first time, they know that that is a consistent service, depending on if they want to add something different the next time, but they know that that's a consistent service each and every time.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
So with your overall general experience, Would you recommend that other nail technicians take this training?
I definitely would, Lori. My hope and prayer is to be an instructor at some point and have a school and have you come to my
Yes, I
school
can't wait
and
to come to your school.
instruct the students, because I would want each of them to be trained in this in-depth um, teaching of how to handle clients with those more problematic concerns.
Mhm.
And I'm just grateful to be, like I said, the vessel and to be able to be a part of this network because it's so necessary.
Yes,
And it has been the one course that has consistently brought me clientele.
fantastic.
Hands down, when people call and like I said, they'll kind of say, hey, there's a lady that I watch on, I already know where it's going
Right,
because not one of my other courses, not one has brought me one client. And
right.
I have had a multitude of people with the Meticulous Manicurist course, and it just
Yeah,
makes
I
my
have
heart
a
happy
really
to,
big reach on
yes,
those social media channels and that YouTube channel. Millions and
yes.
millions and millions of views a month. So
And I'm so
really
grateful
good
for that.
benefit for all of you.
Absolutely. So, yes, I would highly recommend that other nail technicians take the course because you want to learn the skill and become more, um, you want to be better at it. But you
Mhm.
also want, like you said, the reach so that people know that there's someone in their local area to be able to assist them as well.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, anybody who wants to know more about Chastity's business, her business is Inspire Body Therapy in Memphis, Tennessee. You can find her information on my map. If you go to meticulousmanicurist.com, click Network Map. And if you have any questions, all of her information is on the map. You can email her, call her, send her pictures, questions, anything that you want help with. She can help you. So um, thank you so much, Chastity, for joining me. I love to hear all about what you've accomplished over time and just think about the past 2 years and
Mm-hmm.
looking forward. Now it's going to get faster and bigger
Yes,
because
it
you've got
is.
that under your belt, and I know
Yes.
you can handle it. I know you
Yes.
can.
Absolutely. So, Lori, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for the work that you have done in putting together such a magnificent course. And
Thank
I am
you.
absolutely grateful to be a part of the network and to hopefully continue to inspire more and more clients.
Thank you so much, Chastity.
You're very welcome.
All right. Well, you guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks again, Chastity, for joining me again for another interview and update. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. Have a great day.
All right. You too.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.